Hi, boys and girls. Well, today we're going to look at jobs people do. So there's all kinds of jobs that can be done. And this is an example of just some of the jobs that can be done. Doctor, reporter, chef, pilot, dancer, farmer, scientist, diver, nurse. Wonder what this person is. Let's read the book and find out. Jobs people do. Wow, really bright red there. Oh, here's our title page. Jobs People Do by Christopher Maynard. I see some more job examples on this page. Oh, a table of contents. What does that tell me? Who remembers? You're right. It's going to give me information, so I'm bound to get another wrinkle on my brain. And the more wrinkles I get, the more I can know. Firefighter. I am a firefighter. My job is to put out fires and save people from burning buildings. When there is an emergency, I quickly put on my fireproof clothes, jump into the fire truck, and race to the scene. Then I soak the blaze with water or foam. So we've got a firefighter and all the things that are involved there. Fire truck. Police officer. I'm a police officer, so I protect people. When an offense is committed, I interview witnesses and try to find out who to arrest. When there is a car accident, I get the traffic flowing again. Every day as I patrol my beat, I talk to local people so that I know what is going on in my district. So maybe you could be a firefighter, maybe you could be a police officer. Surgeon. I'm a special kind of doctor called a surgeon. I use tools, including scalpels, to operate on patients in the hospital. Patients are given drugs called anesthetics, so they sleep comfortably while I repair the damage inside their body. So we've got a surgeon there, all kinds of tools that they would use. See their stethoscope, I see some scissors and a scalpel, and I see that they've had to use an x-ray. Maybe they're repairing a hand. Nurse. I am a nurse in a hospital. When people are sick, they rest and get better in the rooms where I work. I care for them by making them comfortable in bed and giving them medicine that the doctor has prescribed. And here's a different kind of nurse, a paramedic. I'm a paramedic, and I treat people when they have been in an accident. I put them on a stretcher and take them to the hospital in an ambulance. So we've got some medical professions there. Chef. That's like the little boy in the other story. He wanted to be a chef. I am a chef and I run my own restaurant. Every morning, bright and early, I go to the market to buy fresh food. Back in my kitchen, I chop and slice ingredients, preparing everything to make up the meals on my menu. I often work until late at night, cooking and serving food. And then we've got a baker down here, and their job is to bake baked goods, which would be things like breads and muffins and pastries. Waiter, waitress. I am a waiter, and I serve food in a restaurant. I set the tables with cutlery, plates, and glasses. Then when customers arrive, I show them to their tables. I give them the menu and write down their orders on my pad. When their food is ready, I serve it to them. Later, I clear away the dirty plates and present the bill. So you could be someone who is in the hospitality industry. Fisherwoman. I am a fisherwoman, and I catch fish for people to eat. I drop nets over the sides of my boat to pull in hundreds of fish and then store them until I reach the land. It can be rough at sea, but I love being on the water. Ooh, they have some of my favorite ones. Shrimp are very tasty. Do you like shrimp? Some people at school like to eat the popcorn shrimp that we have at lunchtime. Diver. I am a deep sea diver. I wear a wetsuit every time I dive because the water deep down in the ocean is very cold. I take oxygen tanks to help me breathe. Sometimes I take tools with me so that I can do repairs. There's a lot of things required for those two professions that are out on the ocean. Photographer. I am a photographer and I take the pictures you see in magazines and newspapers. Sometimes I photograph big parties and weddings, or I work in a studio with lights and a model. When I've got time, I like to develop my own film. Wow, lots of pieces of equipment for a photographer. Reporter. I work for a newspaper as a sports reporter. Every day I watch teams play and I talk to the players. I ask them about their game, about their plans for the season, or how they are doing if they've been hurt. Then I type the story on a computer. I have to work quickly. If I don't get my story in on time, it won't get printed. So you could be a reporter or a photographer. Maybe work for a magazine or a news channel, and maybe even for the Weather Channel and help people know what it's going to do. Teacher. I work in a classroom full of young children. They are lively, but they work hard, and I like helping them learn new things. I teach 6 different subjects. I like teaching science the best because we can do class experiments that help explain how the world works. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. I like this one. I wonder why Mrs. Clapp likes that one. Scientist. There are many kinds of scientists. I'm a biologist, so I work in a lab where I look for ways to cure diseases with different chemicals. If a chemical works, I make new drugs and test them carefully. Once I am sure a drug is safe, it can go on sale at a pharmacy. Oh, down here is another kind of scientist called a paleontologist, and that is a person who studies fossils. Train conductor. I am a train conductor. Every day I take my train up and down a route, stopping at stations to pick up passengers. Sometimes I carry cargo such as mail on my train too. As I drive along, I have to watch out for signals that tell me when it is safe to go and when to stop. I always try to keep my train running on time. That's because people rely on you to get there on time because they might have plans. Pilot. I am a pilot and I fly planes from country to countries. Sometimes I carry passengers and sometimes cargo. I know what all the dials in the cockpit mean, how to alter the plane's course, and how to put down the wheels ready for landing. I travel all over the world and I often stay in hotels. Flight attendant. I'm a flight attendant and a member of the cabin crew on a passenger plane. My job is to care for the passengers. Those sound like pretty cool jobs. Accountant. I am an accountant and I work with numbers. I keep track of all the money that comes in and goes out for my company. I make sure that people who owe us money don't forget to pay. I also write the checks that pay for the office equipment and the salaries of my company's employees. If a department spends too much money, I suggest cutbacks. That means that he makes sure that they're not going to spend too much more money. Stockbroker. I'm a stockbroker and I buy and sell shares of big companies. I try to buy shares when they are not too expensive. When the price goes up, I sell them and make a huge profit. I work hard talking on the phone all day. I always try to avoid mistakes. Mistakes can cost me money. So maybe you could be someone who goes into finance. My son Sebastian works in finance. I think that it's a hard job, but he likes it. Mail carrier. I'm a mail carrier, and I deliver letters, packages, and magazines. Well before dawn, while everyone is asleep, I'm up collecting mail from the post office. I fill my bag and then go out and deliver letters street by street. I like getting letters. Do you guys get letters? It's fun to write letters and receive letters. Garbage collector. I'm a garbage collector, and I drive a big truck around the city streets. I go from house to house, emptying garbage pails into the back of my truck. I press a button, and the garbage is crushed so that it takes up only a small space. I drive to the dump and empty my truck. I also collect newspapers and bottles that can be recycled. So taking care of our things that when we need to get rid of them, and also taking care of the planet by making sure some things can get recycled. Mechanic. I am a mechanic, and I fix cars when they break down or are in an accident. I give cars their regular service tune-ups too. I always check the lights and brakes and change worn-out tires. Race car driver. I am a race car driver. I drive cars on racetracks and try to cross the finish line before anyone else. I drive fast, but with care. I don't want to crash. When I win, I'm given a silver cup and plenty of applause. I often am interviewed for TV too. So maybe you could work in the automobile industry by being a race car driver or a mechanic or even selling them. And that is the end. Wow, so many things that you can be and do when you grow up. I wonder what you're all going to be. And you might make a choice now, and you might change your mind later. I noticed in this book that it showed us that when you have a job, there are often different tools required for your job. I want you to think about some of the tools that you need for your job and what would you need to learn in school. So if I was maybe the one who was the accountant, I would probably have to be really good at math. I would need to know a lot about numbers so that I could make sure the money added up. Or maybe if I was going to be the train conductor, I'm also going to need to know a lot of math because I need to be able to read the numbers on the dials, and the same with the pilot. I'd also need to know science because I need to know how fast I can go and what the air is like, if my plane is going to be able to fly in that kind of weather. I'm also going to need to be able to speak really clearly, so I need to know a lot of English language from books so that I can speak and people can understand me, or I might need to learn Spanish if I'm flying to another country like Mexico. Maybe I might need to know French or German so I can fly to France and Germany. So many subjects in school that you would need to know. What about if I was going to be an oceanographer? I'm going to have to study a lot of science to know about what's living in the water. Probably a lot of math so I can read the dials on my equipment and know if I have enough oxygen in my tank. So much stuff to know and learn. Well, I want you to think about a job that you would like and what kind of subjects you would need to know in school so that you could do that job. So think about it, guys. What am I going to need to know in school to be able to do the job I want.